Welcome back to our daily show on this Tuesday morning. It is the 3rd day of June. It's wild, Tara, that we're already in June. You know, it really is. And you guys with Riverben Records had a record day, which was just a huge hit as always. And was it just the line out to the building already, or like you told me it was going to be?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There was probably a little over 100 people that when we opened our doors at 7 came in. So yeah, it was crazy. It was probably the biggest crowd. They started lining up at like 3:30 the day before in the afternoon. No, I pulled up and I saw a chair and I was like, walked in and I was like, are people putting chairs out there? Like, are they really? And no, they were really in the store. And I was like, y'all have lost your minds. So yeah, it was fun.
I love it. And, you know, recently you joined the North Alton Godfrey Business Council. And, you know, you guys have always been a part of the community. You yourself have always been a part of the community. And now being a life coach, women empowering women, and the growth that's had. What's it like to be a part of the council with, you know, so many local and regional business owners and community leaders in a way that, you know, it feels like such a natural way to expand and explore, you know, women empowering women right here in our local community? It's
been a lot of fun. This particular group has allowed me to kind of meet people I probably wouldn't have met normally, because I do typically do just women's functions. And so this has been I've been able to, meet some new people in the community, which has been awesome. I actually started even attending another networking group called Kingdom Builders.
Oh, cool.
It's a faith-based group. It's awesome. They meet once a month up at the old Mississippi Valley. And so some of the people from that are also in this group as well. And so it's been fantastic to really build those relationships.
Well, and you were telling me too that you were getting ready to launch something new, another branch. Are we ready to talk about that yet?
I am.
Good.
So, well, I'm always looking for just some way to just kind of grow impact and help people really just kind of get out of their own way, right? And so I had been attending Women Empowering Women networking events probably for the last 2 years in Edwardsville, Belleville, O'Fallon, several of them. And so it just really kind of landed on my heart. Like I really wanted that here in the Riverbend. And so, yeah, we're launching one on Friday, July 18th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming in hot. It's coming in hot. Yeah.
Well, and now, too, I mean, you yourself have had a couple of really great years, and the group of women that, you know, are around you as well with this, with the books and everything else becoming #1 bestsellers, and really the second overnight. Both of them happened overnight, didn't they?
Yeah, they were pretty awesome. Yeah, we went #1 international with both of them.
That's what I thought.
The first one took 56 hours, and then the second one took 7 hours.
That's wild to me.
So although we couldn't tell anybody, right? So like we didn't want to tell the authors. We didn't tell, because everybody was on such a momentum. And at that point we were like, how many countries can we hit in? So yeah, I honestly at this moment cannot remember if it was 5 or 6, but it was so much fun.
Well, and now, I mean, this is really cool too, to see that you're, you know, expanding on, you know, everything that you've been working on too. And to have this right here in the Riverben sector. What can, you know, folks expect from this next chapter?
Next chapter as far
in the women's empowering women.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, are we talking about a third book? Because we actually had a third book
I'm not
started.
surprised.
I know, right?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, we were actually, we had just launched the third one, and Nina was diagnosed with breast cancer. So we're kind of on a pause. All's well. She's getting ready to have hopefully the last of her surgeries, and then we'll resume. So yeah, we already had
prayers.
Definitely.
Yeah,
thank you. We had about 7 or 8 authors ready to go. And so we were really in the midst of like getting everybody together. And then we just kind of put a screeching halt to everything earlier. And so honestly, that point, it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to put this one on pause, but I still want to be able to create some impact. And that's really what sent me into wanting to launch the Women Empowering Women. So yeah, it's free. It's open to any woman out there who is just wanting to increase her circle, her influence, grow her business, just honestly get some community. We have people that are retired. Like you don't even really have to have a business, because you may come and be inspired to do something. So it's a great opportunity just to get to know people in the community. And I'm hoping, because I was strategic in my thinking of kind of where I wanted to do it. So we picked Baker's because it's right on 255. So I'm hoping to just bring in people from, Jerseyville and Brighton and Edwardsville.
That's
and just,
really cool.
Yeah. So
now, do you know what times they'll be at?
11:30 to 1.
Cool.
The meeting's free. Just come by your lunch. We'll set up, and there's always going to be a speaker. Well, the first one will just be kind of a mix and mingle, just to kind of get to know everybody. But typically we'll have a speaker and a lot of networking. What I love about Women Empowering Women and why it's kind of different different is that they offer this SOS section. So it's like share your struggles, share your successes. And so you really get in with these women and they're helping you. I mean, the beautiful thing is you'll have all kinds of, it doesn't matter, we could have 5 realtors and 10 coaches and whatever. Someone will come with a different perspective, which is fantastic. And so they're coming in and helping you kind of work through what's going on in your life from a completely different perspective. So, that's right up my alley. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's a pretty hands-on group then.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like you get there, you sit down, they'll get up and do some announcements, all the things they've got to get out of the way. But then it's a lot of table networking and group networking.
Gotcha.
And so, when people come in, I tell them like, listen, do not sit next to somebody because the whole point here is to talk to somebody you may not have an opportunity to meet or see or whatever. So yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Well, and what I think is really cool too to hit on again is that you don't have to be a business owner. You can come as you are in whatever circumstance and really be a part of this cool group.
Well, you could be in a kind of a transitional season and have really like not even know what you want. You just know you're kind of stuck and not happy where you are. So, who knows? That's kind of why I did it on a Friday. So it's always going to be the third Friday of the month because I thought, well, worst case scenario, somebody could always schedule a half day off and then come to the meeting and then go home for the weekend. So
no kidding.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it. Well, and I like Bakers too. That's so smart to have it on 255. And that way you're right. Cause it connects to all the Riverben communities.
That was my goal is that I was very specific. Like when we set it up that I wanted to call it the Riverben chapter because I really did want it to be a community.
That's really cool. And if you're just tuning in, that's going to be July the 18th is the launch of it. That's the third Friday in July, and that's 11 to 1:30?
Yes.
Oh, man, I'm good today. I'm remembering everything.
Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. No, 11:30 to 1.
Oh, God dang it.
Well, I could have said it wrong. I don't know. It's early.
It is. But, going back to the council, I've seen you at a couple of the meetings now, and what I think's really cool about it is just seeing, a business group in a different setting, where it's not really the 5-minute elevators or here's what's happening lately. It's just kind of go and mingle as you want to and really get what you want out of the experience, each and every time you go.
I agree. And that's why I like that one because, they offer morning ones, afternoon ones. You can kind of come and go and pick the one that fits your schedule. What I really love about it is the speakers that they choose to bring.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I'm finding out things about our community that like, was it Scott Air Force Base?
Oh, yeah, that was super cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like there were so many things that I'm like, I've lived here my entire life and I had no idea. So I really do enjoy those meetings.
Well, the one that I thought was cool was they had the Freightway development, which really just to hear about how important the Mississippi River waterway is for infrastructure and travel. It was so fascinating.
Yeah.
And that's what really the same thing. It's like, this is incredible to be here all the time and not know half what's going on.
Well, I remember when Marcos came in and talked, I was just like, I had no idea that like it was such a big I'm like, you live here your whole life and so I really I've really enjoyed the speakers and the networking's fantastic. That's the thing about this or with anything, you will get out of it what you put into
100%.
it. And so if that means you just go and you sit and you don't make connections or whatever, and that's fine, go enjoy your lunch. For me though, it's really about making connections and just kind of figuring out like, who do I know? Who would I like to meet? Maybe who can they introduce me to? Just really building those relationships.
Are you getting used to the Zeke-isms?
Oh my gosh. He's a funny one.
Well, and too, the food's always good and all that, but like you said, you're going to get what you want out of it. And what I think's cool is like you hit it on it earlier where you want folks in this other group to go and sit by someone they don't know, and really and get out of the comfort zone and truly network. And what I think's unique too is you can see that happening in a different way with the business council because it happens whenever, maybe food's served or we're praying and having the pre-meeting prayer, we're doing our agenda items. There's some different group that, is sitting together that wasn't last month. And I think that's really cool too. Yeah. No, I think the whole feel of it's awesome. And what I love, it was funny. My very first meeting, I remember walking in and I was kind of like, I might be bringing the age down a little bit. That's why they have me there.
I know, right? Because you kind of help with that percentage-wise. But yeah, and it was funny. But I will tell you, like the wisdom that's there, and the conversations. It's awesome to actually at loading dock. I sat down next to two older gentlemen and like had great conversations and stuff with them. And that's the thing is like you really don't know until you're just like, hey, just get okay being uncomfortable being just get in there and just dive in and meet some new people.
Well, I think we should get an award for bringing the age down.
I think so too. Although I'm way older than you, so.
You don't look it, Tara, that's for sure. And, I like you said, though, I love the fact I always try to sit with a new group, you know, and just say hi. And what I think's really cool, too, is you get all the business leaders, but you also have, the mayors and different folks that come in. And I love that component
I do too. Because, it really just goes to show, like, they're really wanting to know kind of what's everybody doing, where is there a need. I was super excited. They were passing around because I've always been curious and I never knew the people out with the golf carts watering the flowers.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I never really understood. So, like, right now I'm in the process of doing a small group at church, and we're doing a community outreach. And so I'm looking for places for our group to go volunteer this summer. So I reached out to Margaret and I was like, hey, tell me more about this. Like, can I just reserve a week and like get on there and bring my volunteers with me? Like, how does that work? So I just think that's so awesome. Cool. What you guys do around the community that honestly, I wouldn't have known. Honestly,
that's the same thing. The same way I am. And it's cool to know that, business owners, especially, this with what you do with being a life coach and having these conversations with folks that are business owners and the stresses of it all, plus running a family. And then you're adding the volunteerism, for the community on top of it. And it's really unique to see that play out,
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. And that's the thing is, like, I love volunteering. It's part of a big reason why, like, another women's group that I joined, Little Black Book, every quarter we have a give back. And so honestly, hands down, probably the most fun thing that we did was do Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
I know. I'm waiting for them to get back with me to see if I can do this so that our church can do that. But if you have not done that, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Like, I did tell them, though, like, not to post the pictures and tell my husband, because I'm like, listen, I've been living this life for like 30 years. Like, he cannot know that I just did power tools and like actually put something together.
You're going to come home. I don't even know who you are.
I have no
anyway.
idea what they even called that thing. I just rubbed it on the wood. Like, I don't even know.
Oh, man. Yeah. In a moment to take a quick break with me.
Yeah.
I got to pay a quick bill. We'll come back with more of our spotlight on the North Alton Godfrey Business Council. You'll stay there. We'll stay here on Roku TV and RiverBender.com.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
no matter the season. Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Daily Show, Tuesday morning. June is here. North Alton Godfrey Business Council has been here. Tara Hurst has been here. A lot of commonalities happening right now.
I know, right?
What are you talking with your clients with right now the most as we're transitioning into summer and maybe the kids are back home or, just home full time now with school's out? Are there some common conversations that you're having?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm big into nutrition and mindset, but honestly, right now, it's time and energy management. Yeah. Because, they're out of routine, right? So the kids are home. A lot of people have routines locked in. And you get out of that routine, and then some of the old thoughts, programming, habits, conversations, all those kind of slip in. And so, next thing you know, you're running, gunning, taking kids everywhere, out of schedule, and then you forget to do all the little teeny tiny things that had you on track. And so really just kind of helping people lock back in those, time blocks or just getting into the routines. The big thing though is managing their energy because, it's funny, we were just talking about power tools, but literally people will say, oh, willpower. And it's like, no, it's not willpower. It's like, how well do you really believe you're performing if your battery's almost dead? And so it's really just about kind of, taking a real look at you and kind of because we rush real fast to plug our phone in and make sure that all our electronics are ready and God forbid our laptop die and all the things. We don't worry so much about us and we don't, we just think we can just go. Well, at some point something's got to give. And a lot of times what that is you show up in your driveway at 5:00 and you've solved all the world's problems all day long. And then you come in and the real question is how are you showing up at that point for your family and all that, because we may only get a 2 or 3 hour window, so when you really think about that, we're spending all this time with everybody else and we only have with the ones that we truly love and that are close to us. And so what version of them are you going to be able to give them? And so that's really what I'm working with a lot right now.
Well, I can see, honestly, just one of those things of being really mindful of your daily routine and how important that is. Because if you don't really know your routine or it starts to slip through the cracks even before the routine completely changes, I could see how that could be really problematic too.
Oh, absolutely. Next week, I'm talking over in St. Louis to a group and it's, basically lead her ship and it's, are you busy or are you productive?
Oh,
Yeah, because we're so busy, right? And
let me tell you, I could throw a dart onto a map in Alton right now, and that person would be saying I'm busy.
Yeah. Well, I'm busy as well.
Yeah.
Really, though, the question becomes how productive am I? So when we really get crystal clear of where we're going, what we want, all the things, right? Yeah. And then roadmap it and reverse engineer it and figure out how exactly do we get there? Because people can spend so much time in their day getting ready to do something, right?
Oh, gosh,
I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Or me, I'm the queen of going from room to room and finding something that distracts me and, this got to go to the bathroom or the kitchen or whatever. Yep. So that's why time blocking is has changed my life. Now, not everything works the same for everybody, but when you can really just say, during this period of time, I'm going to be insanely intentional and focused and do nothing other than this. And so maybe that's just 5 or 10 minutes. If that's all you have. But if for me, I'll do morning meditation, prayer, Reiki, all the things, right? That moment, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, will set me up for a couple hours because I'm walking into something that I have blocked that I know, this is intentional and this is what I'm doing. And so then, therefore, I'm not easily distracted. Now things are going to happen, especially I work from home. So things happen. My dogs or the door, just whatever.
Right. Charter
right?
goes down.
Yeah.
Well, and what I think is really a fascinating conversation to have too is, are we actually busy? You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of it is just we're stressed out and we don't know, like you said, it's not maybe pushing off or procrastinating while you know the task you got to do. It could just be, I don't even know where to start with it because there's a mountain in front of me and maybe I need a vacation and the vacation never works because it's not really what you need.
Well, so overwhelm is real. And the problem that a lot of people face is you're right when you say they're paralyzed. They don't understand what things like procrastination really are. And it's our neurology. Like we're literally locked into a system, a pattern, and it's like a fight or flight. So at some point, we put this, and I hate to say we did it, but we did it. Right. We put this program into play because at some point it served a purpose, right? And now it doesn't, although our system is not regulated and doesn't understand what to do. And so a lot of what I do is I help people kind of just settle down their nervous system, to where they don't feel that, and I don't want to say anxiety, I want to say anxiousness, I guess, that they constantly have to be busy. The real question that I love to ask people is, so, for what purpose do you feel that you've got to keep running and gunning and doing all the things? And what I really find is that because when they slow down, they feel the feels and they have the thoughts. And, because the thing of it is when we keep ourselves busy, you're distracted. And so then that's where we really get those shovels out and start digging and say, what are we running from? And a lot of times maybe we're just running because, and these are my words, but maybe we're running because somewhere in our neurology that it's programmed down there that we're not worthy of being successful or we're not worthy of doing whatever. So we will do whatever to self-sabotage ourselves unknowingly sometimes because 90% of everything we do is on an unconscious level. So sometimes it's just autopilot. Because why do people self-sabotage? Well, we know how it ends.
Right. Well, exactly. And honestly, it goes back. There's just so much that goes into having those conversations. They affect everybody. And that's why it's good to get your insights on this, too, for folks that are interested and maybe wanting to have that conversation and go, and that's 100% me right now.
Yeah. My favorite thing, honestly, as of late is meeting people for, just meeting at a coffee shop or something and just sitting and having conversations and getting to know people and just really, figuring out kind of for just, when they call me or reach out or whatever, just be like, let me meet you where you are. Let me help. I would never say I'm an expert in anything. I have a lot of experiences, a lot of things that, since beginning my health journey 11 years ago that I've gone through and overcome and all the things. And so, I love having the opportunity to walk with people and just help them, just give them some hope and give them a glimpse of you're not alone. And it's scary sometimes, although everything that they're wanting, is on the other side of that fear and doubt. And if they can just, that's typically where I meet people is when their pain point has tipped them out of their comfort zone. Yeah. And that's okay. And some people they're like, oh, I'm so weak. And I'm like, no, the bravest thing you could ever do is ask somebody else for help. Because trust me, that person has had to ask for help as well in something, So.
Well, and right. And it could be, you could still be a millionaire and need help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think sometimes, especially when it comes to, I think, younger people, they think, oh, all my problems are going to be solved once I get that big job or, once I get, this certain amount of financial security. And it really isn't. There's so much more that goes into play.
I'm glad you said that because that is what I see and hear a lot is when this, when that, it's like when I get this, when I get there, when I have this. And it's like, no, y'all are missing the point. If we're ever going to get there, we get to show up as that version now. And so that what that means is if I'll run people through exercises like close your eyes, truly see, hear, all the things, what is this person? What are you saying to yourself? What are people saying to you? How do you look? What are you able to do? All of these things, right? So how in the world do you get there? So it starts with, people ask me all the time, I just did a talk on imposter syndrome. Okay. And I was like, in reality, all imposter syndrome is belief. But the problem is none of us have a problem with belief, right? We believe the other person can do it. Right. Right? The problem is the belief in ourselves that we can do it. And so somebody was like, well, how in the world do you build that belief? And I was like, you just start.
Yeah.
Like you literally take one step and honor a commitment you made to yourself. And that builds the confidence, which then builds the belief. It starts so teeny, tiny. But the thing of it is me, like I'm 11 years out of my health journey. And it wasn't 1,000 things that I did.
Right.
It was a couple things that I did 1,000 times over these 11 years. And so sometimes you don't notice them because they're so small, but they do add up. It's the change in your pocket.
Man, so cool. You can hang out with Tara and gain these insights and just, have a good old lunch with her, too, at the North Alton Godfrey Business Council meetings. Congratulations on the start with the Empowering Women Empowering Women.
Thank you.
The Riverben chapter.
Yeah.
And then that starts on July the 18th at Bakers and Hale, 11:30 to 1.
Yes.
Remembered it this time. Tara, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show on this Tuesday morning comes right around the corner next in the heart of the 618.